taking it to Leslie Smith right now.
Big time.
Leslie's hurt.
Looking to finish it right now.
That's
Cris Cyborg by knockout.
Right in by Cyborg. Darty might be out. It is done.
Just be aggressive. This is old Cyborg.
Got a fight back here. Cris Cyborg.
Hey fight fans, welcome to our YouTube channel. In today's video, we will be talking about one of the pioneers of women's MMA and featherweight great, Cris Cyborg. Cyborg is a legend of the sport as she has competed in all the major promotions of MMA. She is a former featherweight champion of Strikeforce, the UFC, and Bellator. Known for her incredible skills and power, Cyborg is still active in Bellator and continues to inspire the next crop of female fighters in MMA. In today's edition, we will have a look at Cris Cyborg's career, her net worth, and her lifestyle. So let's begin our countdown with Number 5. Career. Cris Cyborg made her MMA debut in 2009, where she fought in several promotions prior to joining Strikeforce. In her MMA debut, Cyborg was defeated by Erica Peisch via submission in the first round. That loss spurred Cyborg on, as she gathered victories which would ultimately lead to a Strikeforce contract. At that time, Strikeforce had another flag bearer, Gina Carano, and were looking to pit her against Cyborg for a featherweight title match. That fight took place and it was given a main event slot in the fight card. In fact, it was the first female main event in MMA history. In the fight, Cyborg overpowered her opponent with her skills and won the match via TKO in the first round to become the featherweight champion of the division.
She is the winner by way of technical knockout. She is now the Strikeforce Women's 145-pound world champion, Cris Cyborg.
She then finished her Strikeforce career undefeated by defending her belt on several occasions against top female opposition. Her performances then earned her a call-up from the UFC, and after a couple of wins, she was granted a title shot. She was scheduled to face Germaine de Randamie in the newly formed featherweight division, but de Randamie insisted she would rather be stripped of the title than face Cyborg due to the steroid allegations, which the Brazilian has faced in her career. Instead, she was replaced by Tanya Evinger, and Cyborg made quick work of her by defeating her in the third round via TKO to become the UFC featherweight champion.
Undisputed Cyborg!
Ever since her first loss, Cyborg was untouchable as she went on an undefeated streak for almost 9 years. She then defended her UFC title against top contenders such as Holly Holm and Yana Kunitskaya. She was then challenged by another female great in Amanda Nunes for the title. The UFC then scheduled a fight for the title between the two. Nunes stunned the MMA world by defeating Cyborg in the first round as she claimed the featherweight title from the Brazilian. That loss ended a legendary win streak, and shortly after that, Cyborg left the UFC for Bellator after her win over Felicia Spencer in her last match. She is now a Bellator champion and is continuing to create new benchmarks in women's MMA even today. She holds a brilliant MMA record of 25 wins and 2 losses and will go down as one of the greatest female featherweight champions of all time. Number 4. Net worth. Cris Cyborg is one of the richest athletes in MMA. In her long career, she has made a lot of money through fights and sponsorship deals. She currently makes $5 million per year, making her one of the top earning female athletes of our time. She also has a long list of sponsors such as Fusion Labs, AirAsia, Reebok, Dunkin' Orange County, and Girl Clothing. Her lucrative contracts and sponsorship deals round up her net worth to $28 million, as reported by CelebWorth and Essentially Sports, and she still has a lot more years left in the sport to add up to that figure. Number 3. Charitable Work. Cris Cyborg was recently in the news for her trip to Africa, where she helped set up the Women's MMA Commission in Zambia in a bid to promote women's mixed martial arts.
Before they drink that water when they came here, I think 2007, I don't know, in this 2015, they drink that water, no problem. But that water comes from the seed, and nobody knows what they throw in the water. And then when they drink that water, their belly started getting bigger, people throw up and die with diarrhea and then sickness.
It was an inaugural event at the Zambia Symposium, and speaking about the initiative, Cyborg said, "I think women's MMA will grow a lot. You really have to dedicate yourself to training. Trust in your coach. He's going to tell you when you're ready to fight. and believe in and trust the journey. So train hard, do your best, the fight will eventually happen, and you're going to be ready. This move also acts as a way to empower women and promote the art of self-defense amongst those who are in need of it. She further added on her reasons to promote this campaign by saying, "Being a world champion is a big responsibility. Whatever place God puts you in, if he makes you a champion, it's not to be a champion for yourself, it's for something else, whether it be to make a difference in the world and to change people's lives, but I want to be champion of hearts for my people." Due to her involvement in such initiatives, Cyborg holds the respect of the MMA community and its fans.
Number 2. The best thing for my career was leaving the UFC. Cris Cyborg.
Cyborg, even after having a stellar UFC career, was not entirely happy during her time at the MMA promotion. Speaking about her time in the UFC and her regained motivation to fight in Bellator, "I had a nice time, but hard times too, making me think, maybe I'm going to retire, maybe I'm going to take a break, because there was a lot of stress outside the cage, not just inside," she said. "And I said, I really want to be happy. I love my job, and since signing with Bellator, it made me more motivated, made me dream again, and I'm happy to work with them. It's not about odds, it's not about games, it's not about damage to my brand, it's not about lies, you know?" She also had a tough time in making weight for her debut in the featherweight division, due to which she had several disagreements with the UFC top brass. Cyborg on the incident said, "I got sick in one weight cut and I was going to fight 2 months later, and then Dana said, 'Okay, you don't want to fight? Cool, I'm going to make the division anyway with your title fight.' And I didn't fight the first fight of my division because I was sick from the weight cut. But it's nice, now they have the weight over there. Cool, we made history." Since then, Cyborg became the featherweight champion of the division, and after her loss to Nunes, left the UFC for Bellator. Now, time for a fun fact.
Fun fact.
For those who don't know, Cris Cyborg got her nickname of Cyborg from her husband, Evangelista Cyborg Santos. He used to compete in Bellator as an MMA fighter until a severe head injury ended his career. Now, back to the video.
Number 1. You might see her in the AEW or WWE next.
Cyborg, similar to Ronda Rousey, was looking to make a start in pro wrestling by joining the WWE or AEW. But there hasn't been any development on that front, as Cyborg hasn't received any communication from the WWE or AEW. She was challenged by a female wrestler from the AEW recently to a fight, whereas there were talks of Cyborg joining the WWE in 2017, where the WWE would create a storyline of her having a feud with WWE superstar Becky Lynch. She even called out Lynch on Twitter for a fight in the WWE, until the WWE thought otherwise due to Ronda Rousey's debut in 2018, and Cyborg to the WWE never quite materialized. For quite some time, there was a huge desire from Cyborg to fight Rousey, either in MMA or pro wrestling. In an interview, she says, "I think Ronda's biggest fear was losing to me, so if we were to do it in WWE, she would have to win. I don't have such a big ego, but if you were to put on a show for the fans, something like that, no problem." Well, that would have been a fantastic fight, which would have settled the debate of who is the better fighter between the two. Nevertheless, there is still a chance we might see the legendary Cyborg in pro wrestling as she continues to set the standard in women's MMA. Well, alright, we have come to the end of our video today, but before leaving, we would like to know your views on Cyborg's legendary career, her lifestyle, and net worth. Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.